It's Lynn's BS. How about that? The bright side of things. Welcome, everybody. It's another show. What? You need another show produced or done by Lynn? I don't know if you do or you don't, but I am here today and I'm excited because why did I want to start another podcast, let alone and say Lynn's BS and why the bright side of things? Well, we got too much in this world and we're always talking about this and that. And the bottom line is no matter what happens or negative, there's always a positive. And we need to talk more about the positive stuff. And what better way to start my positiveness on Friday the 13th? And what's even better than that is to start a podcast, a new one, positive, about something that this guy that I have coming on knows so well. I've known him for a few years and we did some clubhousing together and we were in mastermind together, Ken Walls. I mean, just, things just don't happen for a reason. Or things happen for a reason, and it's just a full circle type of thing. But before I bring this person up, it's just going to see full circle. You'll notice that on this little intro, he's with somebody you might know as Clickfunnels, and then there's this guy with CBD. And it's just really, really cool because how do these things just happen? But Justin Benton is here for us to talk and have this conversation. So Justin, welcome. I'm so
Hey, well,
glad you're
thanks for
here.
having me, and what an honor to be your first guest on the Lynn's BS Bright Side of Things. And yeah, we've got some bright side of things to talk about. That's for darn sure.
So thank you so much for being here. I first have to just talk about what an awesome guy you are. You're a freaking humble, awesome guy. I firsthand have seen some of the damn good things you've given to communities. You've made an impact in this world. You've helped so many children, you've helped so many families. You've started with your own family and helping your kids and things like that. So I'm going to be selfish for a second and I want you to just really really quick talk about CBD. I mean, which I have my CBD stuff right here, but
Yeah,
just talk about that really quick about you and the bright side of why you started all this coolness
there's
that
the
I
goodness.
still
Well,
have
here's
here.
the crazy thing.
Yeah.
I'm obviously we'll talk about
Yeah.
secrets of success and
Yeah.
Russell Brunson,
Yeah.
but I'm at my CBD store. I'm on the beach right behind me. That's the store where people walk in. So I sometimes am at different offices, and this is where I was right now. And I got the alert, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's today. Okay, great. Then we're going to record at the CBD store." So basically, about 6 or 7 years ago, my son, healthy, happy kid, was 3 years old, and then all of a sudden, after a routine checkup at the doctor's office, he just all of a sudden just went into like a comatose state. Went kind of in his own world. Us dads, we tend to be like, "Wow, it's just a phase," and well, my wife took him in, and he had developed a severe diagnosis of autism. And so at the time, I didn't know much about it, and obviously very scary and a gut punch anytime your child has a severe diagnosis. And we flew my mom out, who's an amazing woman, Janet Benton Gaylord, and she was a holistic healer, a school psychologist, integrative nutritionist, and we went right to work. Cleaned up his diet was the first thing we did, and if we all should do. If your body a disease means it's dis-ease, so there's something that's off. And so sometimes a diagnosis can be the greatest thing for you, not necessarily that you get a diagnosis and they want to scratch a whole bunch of white pills for you and play gerbil with you. That's not what I mean. I mean, your body's saying, hey, something's off, so let's get back to the basics. And the basics are eating right. So we went to this, it's a Canadian company called Vitality Analysis. You just throw like 6 or 7 strands of your hair. It tells you all the foods you're allergic to, all the foods that your body's really can use based on your DNA. And it's like $150 or something. So we started there. We did all the other tests. He was off the charts with pesticides and heavy metals. His body couldn't detoxify. So with great organic juicing and vegetables, we were able to get his diagnosis down to a moderate case of diagnosis of autism, which means we could reteach him how to, walk, talk, write, all the things he was doing before. But then obviously he wasn't all the way back. I just, actually I have a buddy that I'm going to meet for lunch today. It's the same buddy. He was a cannabis farmer. He had a doctor who was his good friend who asked him to help him with a CBD pen, which was like a roll-on like you have right there. And I said, what is CBD pen? Is that like a Seinfeld upside down writing pen or something? And it's a CBD helps with pain and inflammation. I go, well, why is he talking to you about it? He said, well, I'm a cannabis farmer and there's a strain of cannabis called hemp, which is high in CBD. And I was like, look, I was high on the other stuff in college, and I had never heard of what CBD was before. And so, like most of us, we go out to Google. I typed in CBD, and the first thing that I saw was it was helping children reduce and eliminate seizures from
S-
epilepsy. And
So
I was,
can we so
yeah,
can we just stop right here, and this is why you're on the show too, is let's talk about the bright side of a lot of things.
yeah,
A lot of people would have gone to say, "Oh my gosh, something is wrong with my child. The end of the world." Get so depressed and be the victim of all this. Let's poor me, and not seek more knowledge for their kid and be doomed, and the child's quality of life wouldn't be. I mean, a parent will do what they can for their child, but feel that they're doomed and their child is doomed, instead of look at the bright side. What can we do to make this better?
absolutely. Well, I mean, I'm his only dad, and he was healthy, so I knew I had faith. I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I knew it was my job to figure out to get him as healthy as possible so he could live a healthy,
And
happy life.
can I ask what you were doing then? What were you doing for, like, work or your life?
Sure.
Where was your life there to all of a sudden turn this in to where it is? Because that's what I want people to see. I want people to see where you're at now, and what happens doesn't define where you're at, but the bright side of what you're given there and where it goes. Because where you started there and where we're going with this is just freaking amazing. So go for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been a serial entrepreneur since I was in my early 20s,
Uh-huh.
and I've always been, I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska, which is like the direct marketing capital of the world, and so my whole life since I was 16, I've been in that space. Which direct marketing can be telemarketing, it can be direct mail, it can be email, it can be postcards, it can be magazines, it can be all that stuff. And so my whole life I was in sales and marketing. I started my own company when I was in my early 20s. And I was just doing that. I exited a few companies. I had moved with some trends. The company was actually called Lenders Marketing. It's still around. And anyways, I was just living a kind of a jet setter lifestyle, lots of golf, and my wife and we traveled. But yeah, my whole world certainly shifted and stopped when Shay got his diagnosis, and because that was all my attention. And then, like I said, by the grace of God, we found the miracle plant, which when you juice it, just like cold pressing olive oil, it's full of these things called cannabinoids. CBD is called cannabidiol. It's one of them of actually 110 cannabinoids in this miracle plant. And when you eat it, juice it, it helps your body find homeostasis or balance, and it helped detoxify his brain, reduce the inflammation in his brain. And it's actually a neuroprotectant and neuroregenerative. It's an amazing plant. We should all be eating it. If you want to try the recreational side, go ahead and smoke it. But if you want to get high, I say heat it. If you want to get healthy, eat it. And happy to say Shay's a happy, well-adjusted kid with no autism diagnosis. He's
That's awesome.
playing water polo and living a good life.
I love that. And you see what somebody said here. Linda says that's just crazy. If he was healthy child at 3, and then all of a sudden, what caused that?
Well, it was a routine visit, and my wife, her girlfriend was a doctor, and she noticed that his vaccine schedule was way behind, and so she thought she was doing him a favor, and she got him. There's MMR. There's a lot of research on the MMR, mumps, measles, and
Nick's on there. I teach
yeah,
chillax. Yeah, I
it's
got
the
that
best.
chill.
Yeah, there's a chance, obviously. If you look what's in vaccines, you should always ask the doctor before anyone shoots anything into you. Just look at the ingredients. And so you'll see sometimes what are in there. And it's just like anything else, mass production, there's things that can affect our bodies negatively. So unfortunately, when he got the MMR was one of them as well. They used to use mercury to actually make your body react. So you would say that there was something wrong in the system. Now think about that for a second. What was the one thing we learned in school as a kid? Like if a thermometer broke that had mercury in it, like is the most toxic thing, stay away. Like you could die if you swallowed it, but they actually put it in freaking vaccines up until just recent years. And they switched it out with aluminum, which is another heavy metal, which, I mean, come on. I mean, anyways, that's what it was. And so we had to get his body to detoxify those heavy metals that were in his system. And his system was not able to process them. And even the pesticides in our food, because what an autoimmune disease means is that your body doesn't know the good cells from the bad cells. It's everything's inflammation, everything attacks everything. And the best thing that this miracle plant does, the first and foremost, is that it reduces inflammation. So that's what we found by the grace of God, this miracle plant that helped his body heal itself.
Okay, so like you said, you grew up in Nebraska, and so let's go on with the bright side of the story. So you lived there and you learned some stuff, and then what happened with your journey there? Because this is just so amazing. This is so
Oh, well, I
awesome.
mean, Nebraska, that's a ways back. So I
Yeah,
grew up
yeah,
in Nebraska. And so I grew up around the farms. And there's a
yeah.
big city in Nebraska called Omaha, which is like 1 million people, which is it's a good city. The weather's cold in the winter and it's hot and humid in the summer. So the day I graduated from Creighton University in 1999, I had my MIS degree, which is like a computer science degree, and I had no business messing with computers. But that's what everyone was talking about. I was in the business school, so I figured, okay, I'll get that degree. But literally the day I graduated, I packed up my car and I moved to the coast. I had literally had a quarter, heads Carolina, tails California. I had some buddies in Carolina, so I kind of made sure it landed on heads. And then I moved out there and I was gone. I mean, the weather really, stunk. And so I always say Omaha's such a great place to be from, Midwestern values and so much that I learned. And I have a lot of family that's back there. But I literally went out to the Carolina to go make it in the real world. I got my first corporate job and I was there for like 2 years and I went in for a raise and a decent salary, and they gave me like a 4% bump. And I said, well, this isn't going to work for me. So I need to get out of this corporate world. And that's when I went back to Omaha. Family real estate business, and then I started opening up my own business in direct marketing and all that good stuff. But
It must have been in the soil.
yeah, it's definitely something. The soil out there in Nebraska, it is amazing. So if you're ever in Nebraska, there's 3 things we do great, and that's corn, steaks, and football. So if it's corn season in August or September, get yourself some of the best sweet corn you've ever had. The soil is great.
So with all that stuff said and all the bright side of stuff you've learned, I mean, really they came to a point where knowledge is power and stuff. And let's move things a little bit forward here. So we ended up meeting in Clubhouse and also through Ken Walls and stuff. And so you do love a lot of you know uh a lot of self-development stuff. And so that was really cool to find out how let's move over to the secret of success stuff here and why we got the Russell Brunson stuff going on. And now here I'm being I'm getting into, look at this, joinlynn.com. I wonder why joinlynn.com's on there. What do
So,
we
and why am I wearing this hat?
why
It's
are
an
you
Indiana Jones hat. It's an Indiana Jones jacket. We're actually family friends at Harrison Ford. But so what had happened was, I joined Russell's Inner Circle mastermind because of March of 2020 when COVID hit. I have CBD stores, physical brick and mortars. We were opening multiple stores at the time. And then the whole world shut down and everyone got conditioned to shop online. And so literally 17% of Americans at the time before COVID were shopping primarily online, which means they were already getting their groceries delivered. All the stuff that we do now with the Uber Eats and, obviously Amazon was around, but look at the stock, prices soaring for Amazon. The world, that number tripled from 17% to like 68%. So I knew if I was going to be able to heal the world, if I was going to be able to reach 1 billion people by 2025, I had to have a mentor who was going to teach me. And there really was only one, and that was Russell Brunson with his best-selling books. That's him and me a couple of weeks ago at a fun event at FHL. And so he opened up his mastermind and I was like, I'm in. And so I got in, and Ken Walls, our mutual friend, was involved, and he had introduced me to Robbie Summers, and Robbie was in charge of helping people get signed up in the Inner Circle, and then I just was learning everything from Russell, and he taught me this thing called Dream 100, which means you make a list of the 100 people who already have your audiences, and you follow them, you serve them, you send them gifts, you anticipate their needs, because if you can develop a relationship with them, they have already collected your audience. So imagine if you could be a partner with Tony Robbins or Oprah Winfrey or Russell Brunson or Warren Buffett or whoever it is. There's someone out there that we all know, The Rock, whoever. It's someone that if you could partner with them, they've got an audience of millions. And if you could tell them about your product or your service or your podcast or whatever, that it would forever change your business, exponential growth. And so I put Russell on the top of the list because he taught me about the Dream 100. And then one thing led to another, and I find myself on the road collecting these incredible artifacts and signed first copies of Napoleon Hill. That's why I'm like the Indiana Jones of personal development artifacts. Yep. And then if
And
you're
I'm gonna
overlooking, you know,
stop and I'm
yeah,
gonna stop you right there. A lot
yeah,
of people do go and pick out seek out the people first. They get that part right, but yet they don't have a skill that I wanna say first about this man, Justin. Justin wa Justin is the guy, and he's too modest to say this, but I will say this about Justin. He's the guy that it didn't matter if you didn't have the 100 people that he wanted to contact. Justin treats everyone with the dignity and respect, and he loves everybody. Justin will give the shirt off his back, and he's been kind to everybody. So I am glad to say that now that the top 100 people are giving him accolades is great because he already had the camaraderie of being a good human being to the regular people. So I do endorse Justin. I am really funny about who I endorse, and he's one of the people that I endorse because I message him, he answers me, and I produce a show with Debbie Find It, and he's been on that show, and he's just a great guy. So I'm honored that he's my first guest on this podcast because he's one of the real McCoys out there. And the fact that he's now modeling and doing something that he's going to explain here. And if you do go to joinlynn.com, you will see that the whole page. And the first video is one thing, but the second video to see about the dream and the vision that Russell has with this is freaking will blow your mind. I mean, that's a visionary thought. That's a visionary thing that you can't even discuss it here, but that's an amazing dream and vision that he has that it's out of this world. And to know that you're a part of it, Justin, my heart is happy for you because you, I mean, you're just a freaking amazing guy. I have seen you be in two productions, two things. I won't even bring up the names or whatever, but I know, and I was there with you when you were in three different places. You were visiting somebody, you were on the phone, and you were on two calls. And I remember you offering, you standing, and you doing stuff to be at all three places at the same time. And I just know that that's the kind of guy you are. And I know you won't tell anybody that, but I will tell that story forever and ever because you're that damn good guy. So I love you from the bottom of my heart. And I was going to say that on Debbie's show and I didn't get a chance to, but I'm glad I said it on my own damn show for you because
love it.
you
Well, I
you
really,
are
really appreciate it.
no, because you are one of those guys, and I'm just proud to call you a brother, and I know your heart, and sincerely, that's I endorse you 100%. So I'm super super proud of you.
Well, thank you.
So
I really appreciate it. And I want to clear up for those of you that don't know, when she said that you and I were going clubhousing, that doesn't mean we were going clubbing. There's an app out there that's called Clubhouse, which was all the rage for
yeah, but that's deleted in my thing now. So.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, and in this whole world opened up,
Yeah.
when COVID hit. I mean, because that's
Yeah.
when Ken Walls was helping Jeffrey Gitomer go live.
Yeah.
And I was right there at the beginning, and that's when we met, and a lot of
Yep.
people met in that world, and that was Ken helping people go live, just like you're
Yep.
doing right now with
Yep.
Grow Live Academy, and this world opened because to me, I didn't know this world existed.
Yeah.
Like Ken was already here, Russell was already here.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I thought Facebook was just something that you talk to your old high school buddies that you didn't really care that much about what they were having for dinner. I mean, I gave up on social media. I was like, this doesn't, because I didn't see the return on investment. I didn't see that you could form partnerships, collaborations. This just wasn't here.
Yeah.
Zoom was hardly around back then. I mean, I used it, but it was really not as big as it obviously has become now. We're on StreamYard, which is an amazing platform. So this world was, as far as I'm concerned, was created when COVID hit.
Yeah, and that's what I like. Like I'm reverse engineering my stuff and I have over 550 videos on my YouTube, but I'm not blowing up my YouTube right now because I'm doing it a different way. And that's what I love is we all have different ways to build what we're doing. But I love the bright side thing is people don't understand who we're all connected to, and they don't need to understand that until the timing is right. And I love that now people are seeing, and I want everybody to know that you have secretly the secret of the success thing. People have not known till now. How long have you been working with Russell Brunson? This has been 2 years, right? Explain that.
Well, this vision happened or has been about 3 or 4 years. And again, it was partially because of COVID. Hey, what's up, Rex? Because Russell he owns a nice, good, big office building in Boise, Idaho, where his headquarters is with Clickfunnels. and there was a vacant lot, like 3 lots on the other side, next to his office building. And so he bought that space with the intention of building another office to house, at the time they had 500 employees. And so when COVID hit, everyone went home, the remote working started happening, and now he has this huge lot, and he's not going to build a building. They're not going to, the world shifted forever in March of 2020. And so now he's sitting here thinking like, well, what should I do with this space? And right about the same time, he had started falling in this Napoleon Hill rabbit hole. He found a book online that was the original Laws of Success that Napoleon had written in 1925. It was 16 books. And he sent it out to all like the world dignitaries, the Queen of England, the President of the United States, Andrew Carnegie. And it was basically like his Dream 100, sending him his book that was not published. It was just 100 copies that he had printed by hand. And then it became the Law of Success. And then 1937, obviously, it was a condensed version of the Laws of Success, which became Think and Grow Rich. Anyways, Russell found these 16 books, the only copy that we know of, the original ones that he sent out to like the Queen of England, that was signed by Napoleon Hill. And it was $1.5 million. And he I think he said he was having a bad day. And he said, there's nothing on that. And he's been looking at it for a while. And he's just like, the only thing that's going to cheer me up is if I get that book. And then he got that book. And then that was it. He started to really study Napoleon Hill and really study everything from Napoleon Hill. And then his favorite book is actually called Outwitting the Devil, if you get a chance to read it.
I've got that on audio.
Yeah, it's really good book. Really great insights. And so then he started finding that there was people before Napoleon Hill. Samuel Smiles, which I remember was being quoted on Gittimer's Lives, and Orson Swett Martin, and even Charles Hannell, who I had never heard of before, was a little bit before Napoleon Hill too. And so Russell just was like, so in 1850s, there's this thing called the New Thought movement, which is basically before 1850, people didn't know your thoughts could become things. No one had ever expressed those types of words. And so Samuel Smiles wrote the first book called Self-Help, which Orson Swett Martin found later on in an attic in the US. And he went on to write all of his incredible books. And he wrote 40 books, actually. And then that was the beginning of this New Thought movement, where people could take control of their mindset and their thoughts could become things.
Well, Linda, you need to go to the website, joinlynn.com, and read about it. You seriously do. It's really cool. And, I think Justin, you need to hook up Rex with Justin, or Russell with Rex, because he could give him a little bit of insight, because he studied all that with the neurolinguistic and stuff. I think that would be a great connection there. And Vernon says, could you share a list of these authors and books? Yeah. And Vernon, go check that joinlynn.com, because you'd be very Vernon's wife is a librarian too. So that would be, again, check out the Join Linda. Oh, and can we share? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about Monday, what Russell Brunson from Clickfunnels is doing. And anybody that goes, I think it's still allowed, right? Anybody goes to joinlynn.com and you get into the Facebook group, you're allowed to be in. Would you tell them what's happening Monday?
Yeah,
because
so
this is freaking amazing.
Russell's just known for over-delivering, and that's why he has such a loyal following. And so on Monday, those that go to the joinlynn.com, you'll get an email from me after you sign up with her. And all you couldn't buy anything if you wanted. All you're going to get is understand what's going on and your own affiliate link.
Yeah.
There's nothing to sell.
That's it.
And so, but when you sign up as an affiliate on Monday, when you get in the Facebook group, you're going to have access to Russell live recording the teachings of his new book and the Secrets of Success membership site. So it's going to be module 1 and maybe module 2 inside the membership site, which is, you're going to get free access for 30 days. You're going to get these unpublished and incredible books for free. We're going to mail them to you when you get signed up. That happens on October 19th, so next Thursday. These are called Mifty's Most Incredible Free Gift Ever. Unpublished manuscripts worth millions of dollars. Have you read this one by Napoleon Hill? No, I don't think so. No one has, because it's unpublished. It was sitting in the archives at the Napoleon Hill Foundation. You read this one?
We can't.
Yeah,
we can't purchase them till the 19th.
Well, you can't even purchase them. We're going to send them to you for free.
Right,
and you just pay for shipping. and
shipping.
but that's on the 19th.
On
And
the
then
19th, we can do that.
when you get into the membership site on October 19th, the first thing that you'll do is called a success path. And so basically it's like, look, it's like, you know, paint by numbers. First, you go to this first module, and he's going to teach chapter 1 of his new book for Secrets of Success, called Secrets of Success, that he's been working on for years. And you're going to learn how he condenses 15,000 books that he's bought, spending over $15 million on books. And he's going to condense everything that he's learned studying those books in modules. And then we're going to deep dive on a Napoleon Hill book, which I know the answer to, but I'll keep it a surprise, that you've never heard of. And that's like one of Russell's favorites. And so we're going to do a deep dive training as we all go through this book together, learn the lessons and apply the lessons and change our lives book by book. So it's going to be the most incredible thing that's ever happened in personal development, because we're taking every American author. Samuel Smiles was UK, and there's a couple others too. So any author in the world that has been around since 1850s with the New Thought movement.
And Rex did sign up underneath me. So yeah.
Nice.
Rex.
I saw Rex in there. So yeah, I'd love to have you. Any insights or anything you can do to help Rex? Russell's, you know, he's the biggest book geek nerd in the world.
Yes. So is there any answer to this that Vernon asked? Could you share a list of authors and books?
Yeah, there's 28 authors that are in there when you're in the membership site. So you got to get in the Facebook group, Secrets of Success VIP affiliates. You got to sign up at joinlynn.com to get into the Facebook group. And when you get in the Facebook group, Russell also posted a live video that he goes behind the scenes and shows you the authors on the membership site. So yes, you can find them. No, you can't find them out here in the public. You got to be on the inside. Or wait till October 19th. It's up to you.
Again, you know, I wanted this interview because I know you've been doing other interviews and stuff like that, but being friends, I wanted to definitely take this to the friend level / I just love you sincerely, one, for your time, and that you are super freaking genuine. And I just, you know, when you have genuine friends, we could go months and years without talking, but we connect on that spiritual level that we got each other's back, and that's all that matters. And that's why I'm just so excited. Matter of fact, I could have signed up directly with you, but it was because of other friends got excited. I just went in there as a, you know, because it didn't matter to me. We're helping everybody that's there, and that's all that matters. And I really think that Rex really could help in the mix with his knowledge in there too. I really sincerely, and again, Rex could have gone right to you because he's friends and family. And again, we don't give a shit. We just love to help. And at the end of the day, because you help each other, that's all that matters. And that's what the bright side, that's what Lynn's BS is about anymore. It's just about the bright side. You don't worry about where you're hand packing through the line and worrying about where's my piece and where's this and that. You don't worry about that stuff. If you're worried about that, you're going to get what you're thinking about there. And that's what I love about the whole concept in this, is where you come from, the right mind is where you get, you know, the proof is definitely in the pudding. You either get white chocolate or dark chocolate. That's about the bright side of how I can put it on that.
Absolutely.
Oh, great. So Linda and Camille both just signed up, and I'm just excited about that, because my life is to find people to realize that, you know, we have a choice. We can think whichever way we want, but why not make your thoughts be the best thoughts you can have? And Rex is my mentor, and he teaches that every day. So again, surround yourself with the best people, and the best things will always happen.
Absolutely.
So, by the way,
so Rex was there, and we're doing something with the Think and Grow Rich Institute.
Yes.
As well. So I'll be there. We're over delivering for all the Napoleon Hill Institute, everyone for that as well. But Rex was there when we did, and that's the first time I actually met Rex in the physical world.
Yes. And I met him too.
Yeah, because so many of us knew each other here, and like Lynn, you and I haven't met in the physical world.
No, but I can't. We could have, Debbie, and we were in California last year. We were hoping to meet you, but to get you in the LA area is like, oh, that man does not do smog.
No, I hate traffic.
I'm coming to California, Ventura. Yeah. I'm coming to see you someday.
But Rex was there at the Napoleon Hill auction where I met Don Green, and that was the beginning of me getting these artifacts for Russell. And now, 18 months later, we're business partners, and we're sharing all of these artifacts and books and insights with the world. So it's kind of funny how this whole thing is intertwined. That's for sure.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know, you can't keep good people from finding the good people. And, you know, like they say, the cream always follows up to the top, right?
Yep. Well, and it's the vibration. I mean, obviously, I mean, Rex knows about this with, all of his NLP training and everything. Is like when you're vibrating at a higher level, you gravitate to those people, or I gravitate to people that are vibrating at a higher positivity, higher levels. That you just want to be around people that lift you up, that support you, that are positive, that are, all those good things. And that's a lesson I think a lot of people maybe never learn, but I hope they learn. Is that sometimes it's those things that, even though you're their family and their blood and all those kinds of things, but if they're not lifting you up, and if Napoleon Hill says most people aren't successful until they're after 40 because they have to unlearn all the crap that they learned that wasn't true. And so again, it's just finding people that really do have that higher vibration, that are positive, that are supportive. I mean, I'm very selective about who I associate with. And if you're a negative Nelly, I might try, if we're close or coworkers or family or something, I'll try to give you some insights or some books or some things to do or some podcasts to listen to. But if you don't fix your attitude, you're not going to see me, because time and our energy is the most precious thing that we have. And we just got to make sure we're surrounding ourselves with people that are supporting us and that are lifting us up.
Yeah, and that's why I try to do podcasts. I try to meet people where they're at and try to lift them up. And sometimes that does works, and sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes I'm successful, but that's okay. I mean, that's okay. And spent morning texting with Don. Now it's
Don's
our
the
turn.
man. I love
Bravo,
Don.
Justin. And so I hope you got something out of this, but I hope our audience can see Justin in a light that everybody does need to see Justin. He's got a freaking big heart. He's in that group right now, helping people day and night. I hope he's getting enough rest and taking care of himself, because this guy is such a huge giver. And I'm blessed that he spent 32 minutes with us. And I'm going to draw this close to an end here, because I know you are super busy, and I value your time, and I look forward to the day that I do get to hug you. I'm probably going to cry, because I'm just so proud of you, and blessed that I got to spend this time with you. Let me see. Maybe you should run for president. Yeah. No, he knows that the president doesn't get nothing done. It's just, that's a smoke screen.
I'll be the president of my own island.
There you go. Yes. Spread the word. His CBD is incredible. Yes. Give wonderful persons. Yep. And so, no, this guy is such a giver. This guy's making impact in the world everywhere he goes. And I consider you family. I don't know if you feel the same, but we are.
We were all born of this new world we find ourselves in. And, I guess Ken Walls is our daddy, but, here we are, and here we find ourselves.
Yep. But again, I'm just, and Rex, I love you so much. He's just an amazing guy too. We are super blessed. So any final words of wisdom for the BS that we want to give the world? The BS, the new BS. Now you know what BS stands for.
Yes. Well, first things first, get down there to joinlynn.com, get signed up. It's free. You're going to have access to things that no one else has ever seen before, including a personalized training with Russell Brunson on Monday. It's the only way you're going to be able to get the inside secrets of success. And and the other crazy thing is, we didn't even talk about it, is the affiliate commission pays 40% first tier and 10% second tier. There are people that are going to make 6 and 7 figures on this launch. So make sure you're one of those people. Look, maybe it's only a couple extra $100 a month you make, because you've got a link and people signed up underneath you to get these incredible free books and this access to this incredible membership site. So it's really, a lot of us are always, in this world, Lynn and I, and a lot of us are looking for, how can I combine impact with income? This might be the best opportunity that ever comes around. And I'm all in, and I hope you join Lynn and I on the inside by going to joinlynn.com.
I may have to make that a reel today. I'm going to make the reel. How's that?
Let's do it.
I love you. God bless you. And thank you for being part of my family.
Absolutely.
Okay. Love you. All right. See you guys later. Until next time, keep your BS on the